Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is part two to the broken silence with our brother and esteemed guest, Hassan Abdurrahman Al-Amriki, who is currently residing in Egypt right now, furthering his studies. Alhamdulillah, this is the first, also we want to mention, or take time to mention, this is the first audio interview that we have done or conducted. And alhamdulillah, as we said before, and we invited many others to come down. I think you're able to, who do not take the position of videos, they can also do the audio, inshallah ta'ala, version as well. And we welcome you down onto the show, inshallah ta'ala. Yeah, Brother Hassan, inshallah, we got some more questions for you. This time, we take a little bit of the gloves off. We let Brother Isa, who like to do the dirty work,
man,
ask you first, inshallah.
My question is this, and like I said, any question that you can answer any way you want, but we're gonna ask some difficult questions, what we deem to be difficult questions. The fitna of the of Germantown, like
hold on 1 second, brothers.
Hold on for a second, Hassan.
Go ahead. Finish.
Like for example, the Brother Somali and other than him from the guys of that particular group of brothers, it seems that a mess made of everything in the city, and it seems like particular people like Somali and things like that, they seem to be the engine of pushing a lot of this sloppiness that we see. What would be your take on that particular situation, those particular group of people?
Well, if you have land, and you want to build a home, and I've experienced that, here in trying to build a home, and you have land, and if it has any type of growth, unwanted growth, in order to build on that land, that growth has to be cut. And if you cut the growth, first I'm not going to say Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah wa ba'd. So as I was saying, if that growth is coming out of the ground, if you cut what you see, and build a tree might pop up in your living room in a few years. That means that if there's something growing that you don't want, you have to cut it at the root. And if you don't cut it at the root, it's going to keep coming back. So we have to get to the root of the nonsense that's going on. And I don't know if the time permits, but we can touch on it. And sometimes what I say may seem indirect, but it's very direct because we're dealing with principles. So the brother Hassan Somali, may Allah, correct his affairs and preserve him, and other than him. When this growth began, he was in high school. He's not awesome, and what's going on? He's not, if you cut off Hassan Somali, you stick it in a tree, it's still going to pop up in your living room.
Mm-hmm.
If you cut off Abu Khadija, then a tree is going to pop up in your living room. And what's the proof? The proof is it's deeper than what's being discussed. And if we don't get to the bottom, it's not going to come to an end. It's not going to come to an end. So we have to look at the history of Islam in America as a whole, or we call Islam, in order to get rid of what's going on. I find some brothers making some strange statements, and I have to, because it's part of my point. Brothers are trying to turn this into a race issue, and that's a lie. I heard people saying, in the African American Salafi Muslim community, every word in this phrase is division. The African American Salafi Muslim community, Allahu Akbar. What is that? What is that? So if they're not African American, we're going to call what? Kind of something based on the race? This is false. This is false. The issue, if we look at any religious or group from the 1930s, or the late 1920s, if you study, you'll find that when the people that came in around 1922, not calling to Islam, but practicing Islam in America. I mean, well, this is recorded, except in history, were from Pakistan. However, the people who became popular were people who were called Freemasonry. They weren't called Islam. And from the war, Drew Ali, who was the founder of the Moorish Science Temple, but he wasn't accepted into the nation, he founded his own TV group. Drew Ali, they call him Noble Drew Ali. There's nothing noble about him. But Drew Ali, for them, for the Moorish Science Temple, and it was Elijah Muhammad for the nation of Islam. These were the groups that became popular using the word Islam. Then after that, the branch off from the nation of Islam was the Five Percenters. They were started by Clan 13X. And Malcolm X, rahimahullah, he was off after going to Saudi and he accepted Islam. And a lot of people don't know that when Malcolm X went to Saudi, rahimahullah ta'ala, that the king of Saudi sent with him a scholar, who spoke English and Arabic. He was from Sudan. And that sheikh came with Malcolm X to teach him the principles of Islam while he continued to give the call. And like that. So some principles connected to that, but we can mention that later on. So and this is the point. I want to break this slide that's trying to fuel up division, a new kind of division that is the oppression of the African American community and all of this nonsense. Dawu have been adding that. Leave it alone because it's filthy. Leave it alone because it's filthy. So everybody after these two individuals, before the those two, but let's talk about Elijah Muhammad and Drew Ali. After these two individuals, there have been nothing but African American leaders in these African American so-called Muslim or Muslim communities. The thing that we've been going through, it's before Abu Muslim also. It used to be back in the day that when whoever the most money, put up the most money, the imam. When the ministry was built, whoever put up the most money, he was the imam. And this is how African American messages were established, and supporters of those messages were criminals. Especially like the 70s and the early 80s. The black mafia, not the junior black mafia, after the black mafia. Most of the members of the mafia were Muslims, Sam Christian and Judy Bell, and all they were Muslims. So their names as Muslim names Abi. They're the ones who built the Claire Muhammad School. These people built schools and built masajid and things like that. And older brothers were older than me can give you more detail for that. But my point that I'm saying is that this monster has been growing since before some of our parents were born. So it's just a baton that's being handed on. And I did, after I haven't read the brother's book, completely, but I read some excerpts from his book, the cult behavior or cult characteristics. And I did my own research concerning cults and not just connected to Islam. So I did a research on the Mormons, the Seventh-day Adventists, the Mormons, the Seventh-day Adventists, Jehovah's Witnesses, and those who claim Islam. Now, this cult characteristic is not strange. It's widespread, and you'll be surprised how many people before and now are actually involved in cults. Because of the need that the human has for religion. The human being needs religion. And without religion, the being is an animal. And then after being introduced to religion, then there has to be the correct religion, of course, and we know that is Islam. Anyway, so this monster, this cult monster existed before many of our parents were born. So now, how do we cure, how do we cure the cult? We want to cure the cult mentality. We don't want to you don't want to get rid of the weeds. You have to dig out the root. The root is nobody said the name Islam has been used. You know, nobody who has become popular has called to Islam. Nobody in the past who has become popular had actually called to Islam. Everybody called personalities, and therefore the cult in the saga continues. So now we look at our most recent phase of the cult, and when this before I was best to ascribe to the title Salafi. Because the reality is the difference between ascribing to the minhaj, as Sheikh Uthaymeen explained clearly, and being ascribing to the title, the tag, Salafi. So you have a tag, it's almost like a billboard or a sign, and then you have the actual minhaj of the Salaf, which is totally correct. The minhaj of the Salaf is correct, but the Jama'ah, this gang or this group, clique, claiming Salafiyya, and it's not just one, it's many in Arab countries, in non-Arab countries, and in Western countries, in Eastern countries, there are many. The name is being worn out. To the point, and maybe this is going to be a shock, for people who don't, have film, that in Egypt, I don't call myself. I would not call myself Salafi in Egypt, because if you say Salafi, and they're talking about the Takfir, Madrasa Salafiyya, the Iskandariya, and have to go away. So the same reason Sheikh Al-Albani said years ago, you call yourself Salafi in order to make it clear that out from other groups. So now, if the name Salafi and people think that you're with those other groups, you still do it?
No, sir.
So if you still do it, you're no longer on the fence of Sheikh Al-Albani. Sheikh Al-Albani told the debate with the individual, he said, okay, if you say you Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, then, these groups say that Ahl Sunnah, and that group is Ahl Sunnah. So how are they going to know that you're with that group? Okay, so now today, if you say you're Salafi, then the people say that Daesh is Salafi. We say they're Salafi. If you say you're Salafi, they think this group, Alexandria, they call to Tawheed al-Hakimiyya, they think that they're Salafi. They say they're Salafi. So now, Salafi, using the word Salafi is no longer a clarification of your message. So now, when do you use it? You use it only with people that actually know what Salafi is. Just like Ahl Sunnah. When people know what you mean when you say Ahl Sunnah, you say, I'm from Ahl Sunnah. You don't have to go, you don't even have to say Salafi,
No.
And it's only, and remember, using these terms are an exception, not a rule. You have made a wajib, like it's been added to the pillars of Islam and Iman.
No.
They using these titles obligatory. No, it's been made obligatory because of an exception. And this is why it's important to learn the rule. This is an important principle, brothers. This is a very important principle, what I'm about to quote. The earlier of Ahkam, they say what? Al-Ahkam تدور مع عللها وجود عدما. That the Ahkam, the rulings, the principles in Islam, that they go along with their exceptions, the presence or absence of those exceptions. So meaning, Allah Ta'ala has made pork. So now there's a starvation, there's a drought. I'm going to eat pork. But when it comes back, I can't eat pork. Therefore, I'm going to make tayammum. The water comes, I got to make wudu. And this is different. So now, for what a real Muslim is. Okay, now we have people of the ulama Ahl Sunnah that use a particular name. So, and the people know that name means this person is really following Islam. So now I'm going to use that name, Al-Hadith, Al-Athar, Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, Al-Salafiyun. Now I'm going to use those tags as long as those are not obscured by other groups use tags. So when those groups begin using the same that I use to make it clear that I'm not with them, to the point that people start thinking that I'm with them, I can't use it anymore. I can't use it anymore. Because now people want to think I'm with them. And if people think I'm with them, they can call the police. I'm in here. They can call the police and get me locked up because they think I'm with a terrorist group.
No.
So you're going to tell me, no, I'm a deviant. No, you have to be deported. I'm not going to get deported because I don't use a tag that you feel is obligatory and it's not Rahman al-Sa'di brings in his card. He said, he said, وَدِينُ مَبْنِيٌ عَلَى مَصَالِحِ فِي جَلْبِهَا وَدَائِلِ الْمَفَاسِدِ. That the religion is based upon masalih, bringing about good. فِي جَلْبِهَا, in pulling it in. وَدَائِلِ الْمَفَاسِدِ, in preventing evil. فَإِنْ تَزَهَبْ عَدَدَ الْمَصَالِحِ يُقَدِّمُ أَعْلَى مِنَ الْمَصَالِحِ. So if the things that are good, the benefit becomes many, the benefits become many, then you choose the greater benefit. وضده تزاحم المفاسد. And the opposite of it is being faced with different forms of evil, or necessary evil that's going to take place. So you choose the lesser evil. You choose the lesser evil. Then the Sheikh went on to say, ومن قواعد الشريعة التيسير في كل أمر بالناب تعسير. And from the principles of the Sharia is making things easy in every issue that has been made difficult. فليس واجب, now listen to this point, brothers. فليس واجب بل اقتداري. So nothing can be made an obligation when a person is not able to complete it. You don't have the ability. ولا محرم مع اضطراري. And no one can something be haram when a person is forced to do. وكل أمر وكل حظر مع الضرورة. In every sin or excuse that has to be taken, like eating pork and things like that, due to necessity, بقدر ما يحتاجها الضرورة. It's only to be taken part in to the limit of the necessity. This is very important, brothers. So, if you have a necessity to say a particular word, al-Allah, al-Hadith, the Salafi, because there's necessity in order to make it clear that you're not from the groups who are calling to other than Islam. And as soon as that necessity is relieved, then it means you go back to the origin, which is just being Muslim. Mm-hmm. And this was Sheikh Al-Albani said, when the people said, why don't you guys stop using the word here? He said, when you guys stop making innovation, then we won't have to use the word Salafi because we'll be practicing the remedy. So, people forget that part of the Sheikh's speech. He said, when you guys stop going to innovation, we'll stop. So the same thing. When the people of innovation are saying Salafi, I'm in Egypt, there's more than 400 groups that call themselves Salafi and they're not Salafi. So if I say that word, I'm in trouble in Egypt. I'm here in Egypt. Sheikh Hassan al-Banna, Sheikh Khalid ibn Uthman Mahmoud. Nobody knows them. The general people don't know them. Nobody knows them. Mm-hmm. That's the reality. Everybody who knows that here's the word Salafi, who they know? Sheikh Muhammad Hassan. Yep. Sheikh al-Hawwaini. Sheikh Yassin Fulani. That's who they know. Yep. That's who they know. So when you say Salafi, this is what they know Salafi to be. So when you say here in Egypt, it means you're from them. And this is the reality that people have to understand. We practice, Islam upon principles. We practice Islam upon principles. So the thing is that this evil root has been growing. It hasn't been cut off from its root. The problem is people running to personalities. So what happens is that oppression of the average Muslim who are trusting people with their religion is that they have been being traded from personality to personality. From personality to personality. Like an orphanage, in an orphanage, every if nobody adopts him, every time he gets traded from one house to another, calling somebody dad and mom, he gets a new dad and mom every year. So we're gonna be treated like orphans getting passed around in orphanage. So here's your new dad now, and alhamdulillah. Okay, no, that's not your real dad. This is your new dad, and alhamdulillah. And then just keep getting passed around.
So you saying basically there's no stability in our religion since the beginning?
This is reality. We started with Elijah Muhammad, and we started with Drew Ali, and then we got passed on to Waterfield Muhammad. I mean, can you go? And I have to mention that the brother, with the Bush Muhammad mentioned when he was on, was very incorrect what he said about he admonished Musa Richardson for raising a reputation against the nation. What is that? How could you speaking about him right? He's supposed to write a reputation against the nation. He's Muslim, and the nation are not Muslims, and they're saying that they're Muslim. The nation has not been warned against enough. not been warned against enough to the point that to this day, after Malcolm X left the nation, and Elijah Muhammad's own son left the nation.
No.
And with that being the fact, apparently that madman still has over 2 million followers.
Yeah,
Over 2
Hassan,
million.
Hassan, to be a little fair, Shadid gave a talk last night where he did clarify what he meant with that statement. He did not. He said that he did not, as he quoted, he did not meant that our brother Musa Richardson is not entitled to write against the kufr and the things of deviation with the Nation of Islam and their things they have. He said there's nothing wrong with that. He said he was saying in terms of concentrate on them from a standpoint of not worrying about no one at the exclusion of anyone else, and like the KKK and so forth and so on, at the time where you really don't understand that the culture of black people who know about the Nation of Islam and who fathers or grandfathers or relatives came into Islam via them. They was a vehicle that Allah Jalla allowed to be here, which no one can deny this. The Nation of Islam was here. You just got to finish saying it. We had Muhammad, we had, the working community, we have so forth and so on. Allah allowed that to be a vehicle now that people left that and they came to Islam. Well, within the correct Islam, the Prophet was. So he was saying that was just saying he clarified that point. He tried to straighten up.
I reject that clarification, and I reject also, of Kalam. Now, we want to talk about Kalam, but the reason I say that is that, and I apologize, but that Kalam, that's falsehood.
No.
And the reason I'm saying this is that, okay, the more I tell you that in the Murjia, they weren't African American. So you're saying that only people who are in an area with President in the Jahmiyyah were in, only they can refute the Mu'tazila Jahmiyyah, that we shouldn't warn in America, we should warn against the Mu'tazila in the Jahmiyyah because they weren't African, they weren't in our community. That's not our issue. It's false. Falsehood.
Yeah, that understanding right there is false.
No doubt.
But he clarified what he meant by it. But that understanding right there, what you just said, is false. I agree with that 100%.
So we have to stick with the principles, and I really, I advise my brother, I don't know personally, I'm trying to give her, and I advise my brother, admonish him. And many of the things that he's, saying publicly, very dangerous. It's very dangerous. And what happens is that, what happens, this aids, people who have established hope. When somebody says, no, we're not, we're against it, then they make these type of blunders in power. What happens is they use the fire. It fuels the fire, and it allows for to say, you see, we told you, these guys are deviant. So sometimes people speak, and they are more harm than they're good. They're more harm than they're good. So honestly, when I say, when anybody says, this is for all of the Muslims, to know that Islam, along with the Quran, and he said with the Quran, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he sent the Prophet to make Islam clear to the people. And he said down there, Allah Ta'ala said what? هو الذي أنزل الكتاب منه آيات محدثات أم الكتاب. If the Prophet are clear ayats. They are the mother of the book. So at least there are things in the Quran that everybody can understand.
No.
There are things in the Quran that most people can understand. And then there are things in the Quran and the Sunnah that only some people can understand. There are things in the Quran and the Sunnah that only scholars understand. And there are things in the Quran and the Sunnah that nobody can understand. And this is the way it is. So, that being said, number one, all Muslims must know that the text of the Quran and Sunnah is general. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the first command in the Quran, as far as the way that the Quran has been put in order, by the order of the Messenger of Allah, meaning that like that, the first order that came in the Quran, worship your Lord. So everybody has been ordered to worship subhanahu wa ta'ala. And because Allah ordered everybody, it means that the Quran is not a puzzle. So the Quran is not a puzzle. It's plain for everyone. And that which is not clear is to see who would believe and who would disbelieve. Like when Allah ordered the changing of qibla. وما جعلنا القبلة التي كنت عليها إلا نعلم من يتبع الرسول. And we didn't make the qibla that you were used to, except to see who would follow the messenger and who would ينقلب على عقبيه and who would turn on their heel. So we have to open Islam. I don't believe in this community, this African community, this kind of community. This is, this is a big mistake. And the fact that, Arabs do it and Indians do it is the دليل is قال الله كما قال الإمام الذهبي ابن قيم الجوزي أو ابن قيم الجوزي. He said what? الإسلام هو قال الله وقال الرسول وقال الصحابة وليس بتأويل. Islam is what Allah said, but it doesn't just say what you can say. He said it's not anything in the Bible. So this African there has not been a leader of the non-Muslim that's claiming Islam like the nation in one side of the world. Or these so-called Salafi communities, and later on, Salafi communities, there has not been a leader in them except that they were African American. I've never seen, actually, have you ever seen a white man in Philadelphia? I'm asking you, brother, have you ever seen a white imam in Philadelphia?
Well, no. However, what the brother was talking about was he was talking about two specific individuals who have become imams in a predominant African American community, which was Musa Richardson and Umar.
We're talking about the origins that we were here today from the root.
No.
The root of were the Caucasians leading these communities, yes or no?
No.
No.
Okay, so that's the issue. So now, what happens? After years and years of failure, even if you look at the brother Malcolm X, he first left the nation. If you look at his interview, and some people might be scared of his interview, think it makes you eccentric. He was a Muslim.
No, he was a Muslim.
He was a Muslim. Not like he died about his sunnah.
No.
And because you're only responsible, and this is another point that people understand. The extremists in making tabdiyah, they don't understand the principle that you're only held accountable for what you know. You cannot be made an innovator because you didn't practice the parts of the sunnah that you never heard of.
No.
You can't make a person an innovator for practicing the sunnah that he didn't know. And the proof of that is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said what? When the hour is near, God invented Islam. Medicine soul. He said Islam will be washed away like the Kenyan is washing the soul, like the embroidery on clothing is washed away.
No.
Europe, Iman, to the point that nobody knows what Islam or Iman is.
No. SubhanAllah.
When you call Jews, or Sheikh Kabir, there's an old woman and an old man. You call Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah. They're going to say Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah. That's all they're going to know about Islam. When Hudayfa radiallahu anhu, he narrated this hadith after the death of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Somebody was sitting with him, and he narrated the hadith and stopped there. And the narration said, that he cried. They were going to remember he cried. So the Prophet ماذا يفيدهم أو ماذا تفيدهم الكريمة? What is this word going to benefit them? They don't know nothing but what kind of benefit is going to them? So Hudayfa turned away from him. So then he came to him again and said, okay, subhanAllah, what is going to benefit them? So Hudayfa turned away from him 3 times. And then the 4th time, they said, what is it going to benefit them? Hudayfa said what? يُنْجِيهُمْ مِنَ النَّارِ يُنْجِيهُمْ مِنَ النَّارِ يُنْجِيهُمْ مِنَ النَّارِ. It's going to save them from fire. It's going to save them from the fire. It's going to save them from the fire. So it shows that if a person practices Islam that he knows, based on information that's available, and then he's from what? I had this sunnah. He's from the Nash, he's from the same set.
No. Well, I got a question for, since we're on that. I'm gonna see what will be your take on this. If you like me and now we live in North Philly, and I know Philly is known all over the Western world to be one of the worst ghettos in the world, right? And we know the problems in North Philly as far as the drugs, the murder rate, the killing, the gangs, and all this other mess going on. Would it be from nationalism to obviously you teach Tawheed, Aqidah. Would it be considered national as some of these brothers who are part of this particular group of brothers, they try to say that it's nationalism to make a part of your time focus on those social ills and try to clean that up in the area that you live in? They try to say that's nationalism. If you say to you say, well, we have to deal with the specific issues of the inner city because we're here in African American or Hispanic areas. Just say we have to face those challenges and deal with those specific problems that are specific to those specific neighborhoods, not specific to other neighborhoods that are higher in standards and higher in, I guess, wealth and like that. Would that be considered to be nationalism?
No, it's wajib. That's obligatory.
No.
It's obligatory. Allah Ta'ala said what? كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. Allah said you are the best ummah for people because you enjoy it and you believe in Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So how can a Muslim be in a place? It's an Arab proverb that says, don't let your presence make your absence. How can a Muslim be in a place and not make a difference? How can the Muslims a place and not make a difference? Drugs, gangs, whatever's there. But the issue is, and it's still not nationalism. It's still not nationalism. But the issue is the mistake. It's not nationalism, but it's a mistake. For a person to utilize the dawah and say, my dawah is for these individuals. No.
No. Okay.
This is wrong. This is incorrect. To say, I'm just for the African Americans and my people, this is incorrect. It's not ayah. This is why we have to understand Allah Ta'ala said, one ashrak al-aqrabeen, and one of those who are closest to you, it doesn't mean your race. It doesn't mean your race. You know, there's not one ayah in the Quran where Allah said, yeah, you are Arab. Oh, you Arabs. The Prophet ﷺ never said, well, my dad is to the Arabs. The Prophet ﷺ said, bu'ithu ila al-ahmar wal-aswad. I've been sent to the red and the black. Now, the earlier I explained this hadith, they said the red means the jinn, and the black means a human being, because after they said that, like Allah said, he was created from hard clay, black clay. So Adam was black. So the black means human, and the red means jinn because they were created from fire. I was sent to the red and the black. Allah said to the Prophet, to say what? يا أيها الناس إني رسول الله إليكم جميعا. Oh people, I'm the messenger of Allah to all of you. There's not one text in the Quran and Sunnah from the Prophet was sent to the Arab. And this is the difference of his message. And this is why whoever's upon his Sunnah is a message. The Prophet explained that every prophet that came forth was sent to his people. But I was sent for everybody. So now, whoever's upon the Sunnah, the messenger of Allah, he's not sent to his people, he's sent to everybody. This is usul. These are usul. Nobody now today can claim that he sent for his people. The Prophet was sent to the Arab. He was sent to the world. And we have not sent you except as a mercy for the creation. The Prophet defended animals and plants and everything that was created, and it was his message. Islam is a universal message. So we cannot be cutting that message up. But to address those who are in front of you, of course, it wouldn't make sense for you to talk about issues that don't exist in the community which you are the leader of, or the imam of, or a caller in that community. No, it doesn't make sense for you to call, start talking about issues that don't exist. For instance, I translated recently a khutbah of Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen about the spread of disobedience. The khutbah was like 24 minutes long, but I cut off and I made it 17 minutes long. Because the second part of the khutbah was talking about cheating with buying and selling things. And I translated the English because I wanted it to benefit the Englishers in the West. There's nobody, for most of the part that I know that is setting up and buying and selling dates and cheating people selling dates. So that part isn't for them. So I cut it out. And I created the rest that was general. So, dawah is general and then it's specific. It's general for everyone and then it's specific. And then manhajiyah, dawah Allah. This is the Anbiya. What did, Lut alayhi salam? He called the people, he warned them about homosexuality. Salih, he didn't warn the people about homosexuality because homosexuality didn't exist in his people. So he didn't talk about it. About them cheating and the scales. So every prophet was sent with Tawheed and also the ills that affected the people that they were sent to. You know, read Surah Hud. So on this. Everybody said, go in now. Each prophet, Allah, and then tell the people to stay with whatever evil that they think.
No.
You know, so this is the Hikmah Dawah. So I would tell somebody, this African American community, they're not talking about drugs or gangs and things. If that's what exists, it's obligatory for them to talk about. How can that be racism? But when the person says that my dawah is a mistake, you know, it says my dawah is to the African, this is a mistake. And the brothers who will make the statement, they need to, you know, abandon the statement. It's not, you know, the Prophet never said my dawah is to the Quraysh, you know, and like.
Okay, I want to ask you a question, right? Now I want to go back to Malcolm X real quick. When Malcolm came back with the scholar, right? And you know, he visited and he came back to America. He still said, I'm going to focus my call and concentrate on the plight of the black man in America. At that time, you already knew how what the black people was undergoing, what they was going through, the African American. There was no one, even from amongst scholars that we know of, that stopped him from addressing the plight of the black man in America. No one said no. Don't direct your conversation towards them. Don't look towards them being oppressed. Don't concentrate on that. And that's what he came back to do.
Well, that's not the issue. The issue is marginalizing dawah and saying my dawah is for these people.
Okay, so if a person say, so you do agree?
Deal with the issue because they're there.
No, not because of their race.
Don't say my mission is for these people. That's not your mission. Your mission is to call Islam.
No.
So whoever comes, you know how offensive it would be. You know, if you imagine yourself being Caucasian, you heard about Islam, and so I would say you'll go back Caucasian, you to the African American community. Can you imagine if you were Caucasian and then Imam and you thinking this person was calling for the Sunnah God said this now is fucking American? How would you feel?
Yeah, you will feel excluded.
Exactly.
You will feel offended.
Exactly. And this is not the rest of this. Now, how would you feel if you were, you know, if you were, you know, North Philly has African American community and Hispanic community. Let's say a brother, a Hispanic brother, and you know, we really want to encourage Hispanic brothers to speak Spanish to go study because they really need imams in that area.
Exactly.
They need imams in that area. You know, and people are talking like English, but in reality, you know, they don't feel it. You know, and nobody really feels it the way they feel it in their own language.
No.
You know, so we need Spanish dua. We need Spanish dua. I just wanted to make that point. But could you imagine a major student, you know, brother Hispanic, and you know, they open up a message and they support him. He's teaching, you know, and he's looking at the people. And then he gets up in the minbar and you say you love him. And then he says, "Well, my dawah is for Hispanics. My dawah, I'm not concerned about my dawah is for the plight of the Hispanics. You know, they really, you know, especially like I'm Mexican, and my dawah is to fix the plight of the border being cut off from the Mexicans when they are the original descendants of the Native Americans. They have more right to be in this land. And now, and he started focusing on the borders being cut off and Mexicans being not permitted to America. And then, okay, well, so what's going to happen to Tawheed? What's going to happen to the dawah to unifying the Muslims? The Arabs, you know, the Arabs, you know, who don't know about Islam, they have torn the Ummah apart from this. We're not going to follow them in that. I'm not gonna, you know, we don't want to follow the Arab because the Arab, that's they divide the Ummah, and they say, you listen to any of the news, you know, here in our country, the news always says, you know, Ummah al-Arabiyyah Islamiyya, they always say that the nation of Arabs and then Islam after Arabs. And this is why Allah isn't helping us. You know, the reason that we don't get the help of Allah. You know, when the men act the Prophet said jihad, what is jihad? And then the Prophet said, jihad, the jihad is that you make the word of Allah, la ilaha illallah, it's the uppermost.
No.
This is what we strive to do, to make la ilaha illallah uppermost. We don't strive to make anything else uppermost. And if Surah Yusuf. قل هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله. أدعو الله. That's what you have to say. That's what Allah said. هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله. I call to Allah. And this is what, they have a science, there's a science in Quran called when you stop and when you say the ayah, it affects the meaning. It affects the meaning. So some people listen to recite it, they say, قل هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة, and they just keep going. But in reality, there's a stop there. And when you stop there, it has more meaning to it. When you say أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة, and you keep going, I call to Allah by clarity like that, you don't really feel the meaning. But when you say قل هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله عفوا أدعو إلى الله, and then you stop. It lets you know, it reminds you that you're only calling to Allah, not yourself, not your group, not your clique, not your sheikh, not your madhab. هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله. I call to Allah, then you stop. And then you continue and say, على بصيرة, upon knowledge. أنا ومن اتبعني, me and those who follow me, وسبحان Allah. And all praise due to Allah, all glory to Allah, وما أنا من المشركين. And I am not the monotheists. Allah Ta'ala said what? It's Ali Imran. ما كان لبشر يؤتيه الله الكتاب والحكم والنبوة ثم يقول للناس كونوا عبادا لي من دون الله. It's not proper. It's not proper for a man that Allah has given the kitab, the Quran, with prophethood. ثم يقول للناس, and then he says to the people, كونوا عبادا لي من دون الله. Be my worshippers of Allah. ولكن كونوا ربانيين. But be the ربانيين. Ibn Abbas said what? الرباني من يربي الناس على صغار العلم قبل كباره. He's the one that raises the people on the small knowledge, people of the big knowledge. Look at the classes on the peoples of Islamic humanity. This is important. So the dawah of this African American, that this is netina, it's filthy. Prophet said, "Amarukum, amurukum, bi khamsin amarni Allah bi." Or you with 5 things that Allah want to be with.
So do you believe that? Do you believe that there are certain people who have AIDS and illness that are restricted to their people? That's specific to their people. Do you believe that there are illness, and whether it be economic, whether it be social?
Whoever is doing it is wrong. Who's ever doing it is wrong.
I'm saying, do you understand what I'm saying? I'm saying, do you believe that there are people from amongst people, and the law made us different nations and tribes? Do you believe that there are people from amongst people that have their own illness that's specific to them?
Yes and no. Yes and no. And this is like the point I was making earlier. You can be exactly right and totally wrong. You can be exactly right and totally wrong at the same time. Does the area you come from, people that come from racially, have specific issues? Yes, they do. Can you turn dawah to Islam to just during those issues? No, you can't. Your dawah has to be the Tawheed. Read Surah Al-A'raf, Surah Al-Yunus, the Quran. All of the prophets, their people had specific ills. Tawheed was first, and then the ills that they had. Yes, this is true. But remember, every prophet that came before the Prophet ﷺ was sent to his people specifically. The Prophet ﷺ and whoever follows him have been sent to the world. Your dawah is to the world. You have to speak about racism. You have to speak about nationalism. It doesn't matter if it's the Nation of Islam or the Ku Klux Klan. Nationalism is bottom. It's wrong. So you have to speak against the nation and against the Klan. But you have to speak about the nation more because they're saying their nationalism is Islam. The Ku Klux Klan, I don't really need to talk about Ku Klux Klan. I don't care about white or not. Well, I'm speaking about the Ku Klux Klan when the Nation of Islam is in the name of my Lord, and they don't even believe in him. The Nation of Islam is saying Allah. The Nation of Islam is saying Islam. Which one has more right to be refuted?
Nah. So basically the harm between what you're saying and what's to be understood, I guess what I'm getting from it is you cannot restrict the dawah to a specific group of people, but you can address that specific group of people, even if you're from that group of people. You just can't restrict the dawah of Islam to that specific.
Well, I have a, like, for example, so that people are listening to understand, this is what I'm getting from it. Like, for example, like when you said the plight of the African American, the oppression, stuff is clearly known through history, and up till now, the oppression, the plight, all the craziness that's been done to our people in this country. It's not because we deal with the issues and we speak out against those evils, not because they're African American, because Allah is not pleased with that.
Exactly. And I remember, see, a little about history real quick in this issue. I was Afrocentric at a period in my life. I was expelled from school. I was expelled from school. I went to a mixed school, called Ada Lewis in Germantown. And Ada Lewis, when I was in the high school, was mixed with white kids and black kids. Yeah. And I was very Afrocentric. I was expelled from school. The punk rock kids, with the Caucasian kids, were punk rock, and they were dyeing their hair pink and green, and and blacklist and all of that kind of stuff. What I did in response to that was I had a giant wood African medallion. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember.
I remember.
Okay, so I had a giant wooden African medallion around my neck on a leather strap. It hung from my chest to my pelvis. And my hair, my brother, my eldest brother, my hair is steps, 3 steps. And each step was a color, red, black, and green. So I went home like that. and when I went to class, the teacher called the office, and I was sent to the principal's office, and I was expelled and sent home. And I said, why is that the Caucasian kids, that they can have their colors in their hair, why is it a problem with my color of my hair? Because it has meaning. I came up the principal just like that. I was Afrocentric. When I was in plays in school, I played when I was in school, I played Martin Luther King. I played Malcolm X. I did plays and speeches, and so I went through this African American thing. Like I said, my mother and father were affected by the Nation in the Moorish Temple. I know what that is about, And I'm telling you, brothers, God is Islam, and no matter how you shape it and form it, no, it's not in Islam. You deal with whatever issues are in your community. The issues that are in your community, this is what the prophets did. And Lut alayhi salam, the prophet was homosexuality. So he warned against homosexuality while calling to Tawheed. Shu'aib, the problem was cheating and cheating people out of them and killing people's wealth. So he called the people to Tawheed, and he called the people to stop cheating and like that. And likewise with the rest of the prophets. So you can call against whatever exists in your community. Nobody can tell you what are you doing. That's not that. But when you put a label on it, this is the labeling thing. When you put a label on it, why is that not just part of dawah? Part of dawah is warning against every evil that exists. There were slaves, black and other than black during the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There were slaves, and slaves weren't just looking white and black, but it was more known that slavery was done, to black people even during that time. This slavery issue, this is a whole other history lesson. This is a whole other issue, But the thing is, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, their text is a certain type of slavery that Islam agrees with. Mm-hmm. And Islam agrees with a certain type of slavery. And there's another type of slavery that Islam does not agree with, like what happened in the mid-Atlantic slave trade that was done to Africans, and like that. And the 2 words, this is personal now. It's not evidence. This all this what I'm about to say now is personal. The African American, I don't even like it. I don't even agree with using the term African American because what connection does anybody that calls themselves African American have with African person? Mm-hmm. Africa is a continent, not a country. Africa is a continent. It's not a country. The Caucasians are Americans. They're not called English Americans or Irish Americans or so this really is a game played this particular group of people and really to make it show that these people are not accepted. The term African American, why does it on the job application or application at a Roman college, why doesn't it say like Chinese people? They're not originally from America. They're in America. When they see you have a box for them on the application, it just says cheese. It doesn't say Chinese American. So my thing with is that leave that issue alone. That's a whole other conversation, a whole other conversation. It needs to be dealt with in the proper way. And the proper way is doing it, like, to use the term, and this is, of course, to use the term racism in Islam. Is incorrect. There's no such thing as racism in Islam.
No,
Yeah, no doubt.
no doubt.
There's no such thing as racism. But to use the term how Islam deals with racism, now we can talk.
Yeah.
Racism, no, there's no such thing as racism.
Or there may be Muslims who are racist.
Huh?
Or there may be Muslims who are racist. You know what I mean? Like,
There are Muslims who are racist. The Prophet said,
Yeah.
another narration said,
exactly.
أمور الجاهلية في أمتي من أمور الجاهلية لا يتركونهن. He said there are three more things in my ummah that are from the past of ignorance that he will not abandon. There's always going to be something doing. And from those issues, he said what? Belittling people because of their lineage. Belittling people because of their lineage. The hadith al-Mishka, Mishka al-Thani made it authentic. The Prophet said, "Man yafkhar," or kama qala alayhi salatu wasalam, or like what the Prophet said, exactly, quoting exactly, the Prophet said what? Man yafkhar, or man yafkhar, bihi, man yafkhar, binasabihi, fay'ud huna abi. So whoever can continue to brag about his lineage, and let him write on the head of his father's penis. This hadith is authentic. And another mission, Abu Bakr, he said, fay'ud, whoever brags about his lineage, fay'ud fadlillah, and he might on the clitoris of that. These are both authentic narrations. Why did he? This is an extreme warning against racism instead. He said, why? Because all of you from Adam and Adam is from dirt.
Nah.
So, if we see the point of going back to the Asl is that we all from Adam. Adam was from dirt. He's from mud. So you're from mud. In the Ahnaf bin Qais, he said, أتعجب من ابن آدم يتكبر وخرج من مجرى البول. He said, I'm amazed by son of Adam. He's arrogant and he passed through the urine twice. That's the urine tract. I'm amazed. How can you be arrogant and you pass through your father's urine tract and then your mother's urine tract? So what are you arrogant about? I'm Pakistani. No, you're from the same two. Hawa, Adam alayhi salam, wa Hawa. You're from those two, and all of us are from those two. Allah Ta'ala said what? كان الناس أمة واحدة. The people, one ummah. Why did they differ? And sort of Yunus said, God, what? And then they differed. Why did mankind differ after the whole human race was one race? Why did they differ? They differed about aqidah. They didn't differ about color. They didn't differ about color. They differed about aqidah. So that's to say, I promise without them, and I promise without color. If you gather, I remember when I said this, and my Afrocentric friends were upset. They were like, how can you become a Muslim? And the Arabs, they took part in the slave trade. You know how many slaves were enslaved by the Arab and the Arab out to Europe?
Yeah, that sounds like the.
Yeah. I was deep into it. So they came to me like, how could you be a Muslim like that? So at this point I had read about Islam, and I was very pleased, man. And as I am today, and I asked Allah to take my soul upon Islam and the Sunnah.
Amen.
As well.
Amen.
Awesome.
So let me finish this point.
Yeah, go ahead.
He said that how can you become a Muslim out of substance and in the slave trade? And I said to them, what does and I'm not denying that the out of substance slave trade, but I said, what does the slave trade have to do with me recognizing, acknowledging that I have to worship the one that created me?
Exactly.
What does the slave trade have to do with that? When I deal with the slave trade issue, I'm dealing with. When I'm talking about Islam, I'm dealing with hell and heaven. I'm dealing with the final, the grand finale. The grand finale is you're going to Jannah or you're going to Jahannam. That's the grand finale. Black, white, candy stripe. You're not alive. And Islam was Sunnah. Then you're going to hell. If you die upon other than that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded with, then you're going to hell. Black, white, candy stripe, whether you're calling oppressed or being oppressed. If you die not believing in Islam, you die and even you go to hell. Even if you were not. you're going to go to hell because you cannot be a good person until you worship Allah. Until you worship Allah and follow His messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that's my point with that particular issue.
Nah. My next question would be is something that was around because I was around when all this stuff was going on. I don't know if anybody else was around for that time. When the thing happened, if you're not coming, don't want to answer it, deal with it at this time, that's fine too. But remember when the whole issue of Masjid Barar happened, it kind of dropped it in your lap. And for years, many people held you responsible for that whole chaotic thing. And obviously, I knew that wasn't the case then. But a lot of people were raised on the fact that it was Hassan Abdul Rahman that started that, had the brothers praying outside. And then when it all came to light that it wasn't right, they kind of dropped it lap like a hot potato. How can you shed some light on the background to all of that if you're comfortable enough with that?
Well, that was another coping tactic, the Masjid Barar. And if we want to see, there's a lot of together at tapes that we call the black. And these Mexican tapes were tapes of Stalin at an end and telling them our position against. At the time, like I told you, at the time it was an Hadith. That's Germantown. So it would be tapes that we would be calling and we tell the sheikh this, that happened, and we would maybe try to get a refutation somebody. And his sheikh would disagree and agree with the person that we were going against, and that thing would be marked X-File. Don't put that out. So I became victim of one of those tapes. And I remember when we called Sheikh Fadeh at the time, before Sheikh Fadeh, the issues that he's been up. And we called Sheikh Fadeh and we called Sheikh Rabia. And this is after, the one who actually translated the book of Sheikh Ozi, and translated it in order with the spreading. I was the one who spread, I was the go boy. I was the usher or whatever, how you can call it. I was always going to speak. So they would say, this is it. You need to start telling the people about it. So I said, okay, and so I would start speaking about it. I had a big mouth. I was a loud talker. So they got me to do it. So anyway, Abu Hassan Malik is the one who actually translated the book. But it just said translated by the Hadith from Alpha. But Abu Hassan Malik, he's the one translated it. But I remember when we called Sheikh Fadeh and we explained to him what's going on. And we called Sheikh Rabia also explaining what's going on. And they both said it's going to be better for you guys and better for Sheikh Tozi that y'all stop going to him on this issue. Meaning that he wasn't farming the issue. So, but those things were exiled. They were exiled. We can't put that out. So what happened was we had a big meeting. Abdul Aziz and the Jamaican with Hassan and Kashif Khan and then Jamil. I was last name, but the tall brother Jamil that was in lead at one point also. And it was me and the brother that, he's always in the background, Khalid Abu Asia. He was also, there. We had a big meeting, and I think Khalid might have left early. And he can correct me if I'm wrong. But what happened at the meeting is that I wrote up a bayan. And in the bayan, I said, we the brothers the Hadith, we listened to the tape of Sheikh Fawzi al-Athari, and his exposition in which he made a ruling among the Masajid in America that they are not upon the Sunnah and that they are masters of harm, and then he made the ruling that is not permissible for us to pray those Masajid. However, after consulting scholars who are more knowledgeable than him, they decreed that the Sheikh was mistaken in his ruling, and at the same time, this does not take from the honor of the Sheikh, but he just made a mistake, and we, likewise, we recant our position that we took previously, and we no longer say that these Masajid are Masajid of harm. That's the writer with Abdul Aziz. He's nowhere, around anymore, but with Abdul Aziz, he studied also in Egypt back then and Sudan. I left the man with Abdul Aziz and went home. The next day, I went up Germantown. I wasn't even full yet. I went up Germantown to pray. And I saw the end and piles of the Germantown messages. And I looked at it and I said, but when I read it, it said that we, brothers and Hadith, will free ourselves from these individuals who have been going around and claiming Masajid to be flesh and blood, and we have never taken a decision. And it happens that an individual didn't by name, but everybody knew. So they said the individual, we hear ourselves on the individual that did this act. You know, and that was the band that was written after I left. You know, and I remember, you know, during these days, it was amazing because this time everybody was, you know, warning against QSS. This was when the QSS issue had jumped off at the same time. And I remember that would indeed, Hafizahullah, they had to make a bayan to free yourself from QSS, and we were up there, and Hosey was asking to write your bayan. And then the conference came at the Adams Mark Hotel, and Sheikh Hosey was there, and Abu Khadija had came, and Amjad Rafiq, and Abu Hassan Somali was there like that, and they came at Abu Uwaydullah about him making a bayan. He said, you know, you're still working with QSS, when you going to make a bayan? So Abu Uwayd, he said, what? Make a bayan? He said, I don't make a bayan, you know, for anybody. He said, I was practicing Salafiyya before you guys were born. He said, did you think you're going to warn against Abu Uwayd? I'll make a run against you. And then, you know, they never spoke up Abu Uwayd. At that point, Rahimahullah died, you know, we put him in that place. So Abu Uwayd continued to work with QSS, and nobody spoke about him. But, you know, and this shows that if you're upon principles, and this is the problem with the boogie down. You know, I hate to use these kind of terms. The reality, they're trying to get you afraid to practice the principles of Islam. And you have to do what I'm doing, or I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to coach here. So, and this is what I remember 2001 when I was trying to leave. You know, and this is a manipulation tactic, a cold tactic. That when I was going to leave, and it was brothers with me, we were talking about all overseas, and it was a talk of Margaret and Orthodox, and they called Sheikh Rabi. And you know, it was a beautiful talk. But after the talk, brothers started putting on, you know, to sense that they Abu Hassan speaking. And he said, you know, brothers, you know, Sheikh Muqbil has died, and only can be taken right now from the Mimlek. And I remember, you know, the brother Jamil Meekins, he was saying, stay up, everybody has to turn to the Qibla now. No scholars outside, you know, outside of the Mimlek.
SubhanAllah.
This is the da'wah that was being called. So I got, I never was in a gang in Jahiliyyah, so I got on the plane. I didn't listen to that. I got on the plane, but the amazing thing that the brothers that were saying that you guys, they said, you know, you guys should go overseas, you could go astray. You might as well just stay here. He said, they were telling us, you guys might as well just stay here and benefit from the students.
Oh, no. Well, I got.
You know, and staying and benefiting from the students, it means that you will never reach where they are, and you'll never surpass them.
Well,
You'll always be stuck.
Well, that would indicate an agenda. That agenda, like you just said, that indicated an agenda to keep you at that level. Yeah, to keep you at that level, and keep those people in play. Top.
No. See, I was personally involved, and I'll tell you the way. You know, I stopped being a part of the clique. I was personally with the clique. Abu Muhammad was married to one of my sisters, and we were living in the same house. I was talking to Abu Muhammad and I walked into Hassan Somali. We walked together and talked together, and we were close. And I and Abu Muhammad the Jamaican, and Tawfiq and I were really close. And what happened was, I was telling the brothers, we warning people, but I see things that we are saying about other people that we're falling into them. You know, I'll give you a clear example. One day, Hassan Somali, one Jumu'ah, he gave a khutbah about the importance of the Islamic appearance. And you know, that's a problem in Philadelphia. You know, people dressing Muslim because, you know, Philadelphia is a state, a city of fashion. So he spoke of the importance of the Islamic appearance. After that, the brother, he gave a khutbah, and I don't want to oppress him, but I believe he was wearing a sweatsuit at the time. But you know, he gave a khutbah, and Allah knows best, I can be corrected, and I apologize if I'm oppressed. I believe he gave a khutbah with a sweatsuit on. And he spoke about that, you know, and it's he mentioned that appearance is not important as what's in your heart, and that's not, you know, it's not, you know, the manager. It's the statement that's correct, but what is wanted from it is false. You know, like, you know, and this is important to know, just to make a quick point. That it's not important that a person quotes evidence with the correct understanding of the evidence. Everybody has evidence. Imam Shatibi, and Andalusi, and Surah Al-Muwafaqat. And Al-Muwafaqat is one of the biggest books of Usul al-Fiqh. He said about, that's not the point of brain. The other Imam Shatibi wrote Al-I'tisam, that was Sunnah.
No.
When he spoke about refuting, when he spoke about refuting Bid'ah, he said something, a very important point about innovation and deviation, or just wrong. He said what? It cannot he said the innovation was complete falsehood would never be accepted. If somebody came to you with complete wrong falsehood, listen, I'm about to lead you astray. Listen, Akhi. What we're about to do, we're about to abandon the sunnah. It's nobody going to say that. Listen, Akhi, we're going to leave Islam. Who could spell like that? He said, it's complete falsehood, it would never been accepted. ولو كان حق محض فلم تكن بدعة. If it was complete truth, then it wouldn't be innovation. لكن هو اختلاط بين الحق والباطل وتلبيس الحق بالباطل. ولذلك قال الله تعالى ولا تلبسوا الحق بالباطل وتضحكوا وانتم تعلمون. And for that reason, Allah said, "You will not clothe the truth with falsehood, nor hide the truth while you know what it is."
No.
Or you know what it is. And an important point about this is Sheikh Muhammad al-Amin al-Shafi'i. He was a teacher at the University of Medina. And he used to sometimes, students, while taking the test, they would ask Sheikh Muhammad al-Amin al-Shafi'i the answer. And he would tell them the answer while they're taking the test. So the information, Sheikh Ibn Baz wasn't in the university at the time. So the Sheikh Ibn Baz, it was reported to him that Sheikh Muhammad al-Amin al-Shafi'i gives the students the answers to the test. They ask them to answer. So, and this is the point about the name. What happened? Sheikh Ibn Baz, asked Sheikh Muhammad al-Shafi'i, Sheikh Muhammad al-Shafi'i is from the scholar of Sheikh Ibn Baz. But he called them, talked to him about the issue of the answers on the test. So Sheikh Ibn Baz, I hear that, I apologize for calling you an issue, but I hear that ABC is going on, that you tell the people to answer like that. But Sheikh Muhammad al-Shafi'i said, yes. Yeah, I do. So Sheikh Ibn Baz was surprised because he thought it was, a lie. He said, you do? He said, yeah, I tell them. If somebody asks me to answer, I tell them. He said, well, but they're taking the test. You can't tell them they're taking the test. He said, I don't care about the test, the university test, or the master's degree or doctor's degree. He said, I'm not going to die raised up that I would help knowledge I was asked about. So he was worried about being raised up or hiding action. He's taking principle. This is principle. This is this. This is Islam. So so this is when you want to call the principles, you have to call the principles, and you have to say right is right and wrong is wrong, no matter who it is. So we have to be careful.
Okay, so one quick question.
I'm sorry, this last point. We were all together, and our biggest problem was that we didn't enjoy the good and forget the evil amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
And we warned against everybody else and did most of the same thing.
SubhanAllah.
That's important. Because Allah talks about the Yahuds like that.
The Yahoo, yeah. Yahoo Isa ibn Maryam.
ذلك بما عصوا وكانوا يعتدون كانوا لا ينهون عن منكر يفعلون مثل ما كانوا يفعلون. The disbelievers from the children of Israel were cursed for none of their prophets. Dawood, Isa ibn Maryam. That is because the evil was to do. They didn't to enjoy the good and forget the evil. You see, so that was our main issue. If somebody else did it, we wanted against them. We're going to make a take. We're calling overseas. If Germantown did it, I beat them in Germantown. So if Germantown did something wrong, that's it. Come on, we're calling over. And Germantown was doing the same thing. If he did something wrong, they would call over. But to make a point, but we had a big meeting in the church. All of the dua at the time was there. The dua who were famous. Actually, I swear by Allah, I challenge anybody. I said anybody that was there, Sheikh Fahid was there. I challenge anybody that was there they say that the issue was manhaj. Wallahi, billahi, billahi, the issue was personal. Nobody mentioned any manhaj issues. Everybody said, well, you said this about me. One man, well, my Arabic is weak. That's the kind of stuff that came out of that meeting.
Oh, man. So tell me this, Hassan.
I tell the Muslims, leave this issue alone. It's personal. Nobody, you want
Said it.
you know, the problem is that when money, the problem, also goes back to money. What happened was at first, the students who were being taken care of and being supported by the community were those who studied in Yemen or Egypt. And then they were going to Medina again. So now the support switched from students who didn't study in the university to study in the university. Then the divide came. Those universities and those who don't. And this is why you see like little under the table acts like, okay, that's all book knowledge. That joke is not going to freedom of a scholar. He's that with a scholar. Then the other attack is, this guy doesn't have any, he doesn't have any knowledge. And this is the game, and all of it is not from the dawah.
No.
So, we can't invent a new cult and say, okay, and oppress the Muslims by trying to make them choose between one of the two groups. They have to leave any idea of being in a group, and the people have to practice Islam. And Islam is what Allah said, and what His Messenger said, and it is not nothing that anybody has imagined. So we're calling the people to Islam, and we're not calling the people to Hassan Somali, and we're not calling the people to Sheikh Tahir. But at the same time, it is permissible for us to mention what's right and what's wrong in the situation. But I'm not calling to a Sheikh Tahir, Muhammad Munir, Madhab. I'm not calling to Hassan Somali, Abu Khadija, Madhab. I'm calling the people to the Book and the Sunnah. And nor am I calling to the people to follow Sheikh Rabi'a or follow Sheikh Fahd. No, the people have to return to the Book and the Sunnah. And I know you guys have another question, but let me make a point about being in the cult. People in the cult, we studied that, did some research on cult characteristics after the brother, Jazal Khair put out the work about the cult characteristics. One of the main principles is that people of the cult are always convinced that you cannot read the text on your own. And the special people with the special knowledge, they only can read from the text. You have to take what they say from the text. And if you read the text and the text goes against what they say, and you tell them, but you said this, and the text goes against what they say, then you have deviated from the cult, and you will be cast out of the cult. But what I want to warn myself and you brothers and everybody that's involved and everybody speaking is that the dangerous part that I noticed, and Brother Malcolm X, he mentioned this, when he first left the nation, the point that I was going to make earlier, the not speak against the nation when he first left, he said because he had nothing to offer the people who were leaving, and he told them about the nation, and he was afraid that if they left the nation based on him exposing them, that they would have nothing else to go to, and they would return to drugs and prostitution. It's the same thing. If we do not call the people to proper Islam, we're going to do one of two things. We're either going to call them to another personality, and I don't care how good that personality is, we're going to another personality, or you're going to find, I noticed that none of the people who were caught up and had very close friends, or had very close friends, who had another evil cult leader was Dr. York.
No.
And I have people, very close friends that were family that were in the nation, the Morris and the people who followed Dr. York. Nobody that I know that were ever involved in any of those things that I know. I'm not saying nobody, but nobody that I know that was ever in those groups, Islam today in any form. Just look at Malcolm X's children now. Look at Muhammad Ali's children now. Look at anybody that was caught up in those groups, were famous. Look at their family. You won't find anybody from their family practice Islam. This is what all does to you. It strips you, and it makes you not do anything.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. That's true.
So we have to teach people how to leave a cult, not fall into another.
Nah.
Very important.
Barakallahu feek. Alhamdulillah. This is the next question. Again, this goes back to some historical issues, and like I said, I was there, you were there at this time in the 90s and things like that. Obviously, we were much younger at that time, right? When the QSS was going out, and Salafi Pub was moving in. Most people, even me at the time, now that I look back, and most people I talk to, they look back at those days, it went from being more academics at some point to turning into just a reputation-based, like characteristic-based dawah when I guess the British came and the Salafi Pub organization came to our fairs. Would that be a correct assessment, do you think?
Well, Allah Ta'ala said, we don't have any mass. These are the days that we cause to transpire or transfer between one group and another. These days switch. So in reality, when I look at it, we had our days, the so-called golden days. I remember when Sheikh Tahir first went to study. I know you probably remember this. You probably remember this. Abdul Wadud. They call Sheikh Tahir's nickname. Go by his nickname anymore. Munir Mufti, he still goes by his nickname. But Sheikh Tahir, his nickname, the community called him was Golden Boy.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
It was because he was MVP. We were expecting him to come back and run he was coming back to rid us of his PF and do the community a favor and be a perfect, because we kept switching imams. We kept switching imams. So we got tired of switching imams. We always had imams come, we give him our trust, and then next thing you know, he's us in the back. He tries to talk to our wives, or he's stealing money, or he's just corrupt, or he's hanging with drug dealers, or we just kept going through situations of corruption.
That's what's happening.
So everybody was the big investment, and everybody knows there's a communal investment for the community of the Salafi in Philadelphia, that we're going to invest in the Golden Boy, Tahir Wyatt, and he's going to come back and teach us. He's going to come back scholar. So if this was our goal, this was our intention. What did it say? What did the Prophet say? So if you like it or not, you got what you intended. We did this shit with Sheikh Tahir to go and become a scholar, and that's what he did. Like it or don't, like it or not.
Yeah, nah.
Okay, just because you might have some different disagreements, because this is one of the questions from the audience about Shadeed Muhammad, because you did mention some statements that you definitely don't agree with our brother Shadeed Muhammad and his usloob and I guess his style or manner of using the term African American and making a dollar specific to that. From it, one of the audience want to know, do you believe that our brother Shadeed Muhammad?
Yes, I believe Muhammad is a modernist, and he has the characteristics of the Muslim Brotherhood of Party. Yeah, I believe that. And I believe that he's advice. He's serious advice. And I believe that from that destroyed men of the Du'a, and that men of the Du'a, they're groupies. They don't have friends. And the problem with groupies is that, I think that's another fitna Muslim Surah. That he has groupies, he doesn't have friends. And that's one of the down, our brother Abu Hassan Malik, he has groupies. And the proof that none of them have surrounded by them that's on the state that they are. And this is a problem. When you don't have somebody that's like you, and you need somebody that's like you that can tell you, listen, you're not the only one that read that book. I read that book, and that's not what it said.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have somebody that can you. And the problem with the Dua, same thing that happened with Abu Muslim. He had groupies, he didn't have friends. So when you're in a position of power and control, this is what happens to the leaders. When you want to have a Batana, and Khayr, and Nasihun, when you have people that are advisors, what happens is that you get big. And then you become unrefutable. You become, unstoppable. And when you become unstoppable, what happens? You make mistakes. You make mistakes. And Imam Shafi'i was, reviewing his book Al-Risala, which is the first book written by Imam Shafi'i. So he was writing his book Al-Risala. He was making Miraj of one of his students. And it said in the narration that he went over it 86 times. And then he laughed. He said, Imam Shafi'i laughed. And said, no matter what we do, it's going to have mistakes in it. Lord. He said, no matter what we do, it's going to have mistakes. He said, why? He said, and Allah Ta'ala yamut and yakun kitan khali and al-akhtar ila kitan. Allah Ta'ala has refused that there be any book without mistakes instead of this book. And then he said in the ayat, find over the Quran, because some other than Allah you will find it much different. But our brother should be, the Mother show, stop it. He's doing interviews with sisters, laughing. The sisters not wearing proper hijab. It's not. I ask you a question, and it's a far-off question. But if you use, I was taught this by someone, I put this up to check yourself. Would you do it if the Prophet there? Would you have a show and sit there and two women sitting in front of you, they're laughing, they don't have proper hijab, and complimenting people, women on the way they dress, and sitting with a sister and a husband and doing an interview? Would you do that if the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was here? Would Prophet do it?
But is that? But just with all fairness, though, is that the way that we label someone a deviant?
Is he a deviant, or do you think he said he had the characteristics?
I'm sorry. He had characteristics of these individuals.
Okay. But you're not saying he's a deviant. You're not saying he's a deviant, right?
I believe his dawah is the deviation. His dawah is the deviation from the Quran and Sunnah. And I'm sorry, at first I said, yes, I believe he's a deviant, and I take that statement back now.
Okay, brother.
Because, the first thing, and this is the danger. This is the danger. Walking live, and this is the danger. The danger is what? When we come making mistakes,
No.
the mistakes are three types. Or the people that make mistakes are three types. Al-Mukhti, wal-Khalif, wal-Muqtadi. The person who's mistaken, and the person who's an opposer, and the person who's an innovator. And then sometimes this word is also used to mean an innovator. When they come together, each one of them has a separate meaning. When you mention them separate, Mukhalif and Muqtadi, they both mean Muqtadi. When we mention Mukhalif, separately, Mukhalif means something, and Muqtadi is something else. So, I apologize to our brother Shaheed Muhammad. Ask him to forgive me. I'm not calling you a deviant, but his dawah is definitely not to the book and sunnah. His dawah is modern. His dawah, it has the same way. I'm in Egypt. It has the same style as the Quran.
Okay.
Exactly like the Quran.
Okay, so now my next question to you is, what do you think about those who with Shaheed Muhammad?
Those who what?
What do you say about those who work with Shaheed Muhammad? When I mean it, like from the brothers who call the Ahlul Sunnah, I'm not talking about any other individuals. I'm talking about such as us, bringing them on, talking to him, dealing with him, and things like that.
Well, first let me mention the point of three types of individuals with these things.
No.
Al-Mukhti is the person that is usul is the usul of Ahlul Sunnah. What do you say? And the mistakes are going to be two types. He's going to either make a zallah, he's going to make a mistake with his tongue, or zallah, or he's going to make a mistake in his understanding. He said, he makes a mistake like I just did. When I said, yeah, Shaheed Muhammad, is an innovator. Okay, I mean, it's zallah, he said. Or zallah al-fahm, you make a mistake in your understanding. You misunderstand an issue, and you believe your understanding is the truth. Like some of my brothers saying, my dad was the African Americans. I believe this is a zallah, and I'm just using the ayat, using that ayat, and warn your close relatives to me, just to give that out to you people. This is a mistake. So this is a mistake in understanding. So when a person who's usul is Ahlul Sunnah, he makes this kind of mistake, then it's permissible to warn against his mistake. His mistake is public. So the warning against him, it comes in two ways. First, if you're able to inform him of a mistake so that he can correct it himself, like you just did about people, we warn him about his mistake before his mistake spread and let him correct it himself, then this is protecting the honor of your brother. And this is what I think didn't happen with Muslim, it didn't happen with Shaheed, it didn't happen with many people that now are considered that well off, that, no, who was there to warn them? I like to ask you, who told you that what you were knowing? Who talked to you? I like to ask Abu Asma, did anybody talk to you? Did anybody talk to you about what you doing before they warned against you? I mean, the brother who actually took down Abu Muslim, Armando, the Hispanic brother, from the last thing I heard about him is he's on Wall Street. He left down, he's on Wall Street. You know, it's a stock market. You know, so guy doing his thing. It has nothing to do with dawah anymore. So my thing is that who advises these individuals? So number one, the first person is the muqti. The muqti is the person who he sets up speaking and he slipped at the tongue. Or he understood something in an improper way and he taught the people that he was this and that and he made a misunderstanding. And after that, our job for one another is to say, listen, you know what you said was incorrect. You know what you did was incorrect. If the mistake has become widespread and somebody asks me or asks you, okay, this and this, is this correct? To say, no, that's not correct.
No.
But our brother is still from us. But what he's saying is wrong.
No.
He's still from us, but what he's saying. So this is called the muqti. Al-mukhalif. Al-mukhalif, but remember I'm saying that the muqti, the one that's only considered muqti, is usul or the usul of Ahl Sunnah.
No.
Okay, now the mukhalif. The mukhalif, his usul is Ahl Sunnah. He has taken a position that goes against the position of Ahl Sunnah in a particular issue, and it can be in Aqidah. It can even be in Aqidah. Some say that, you know, you can have mistakes in Aqidah. No, you're not going to say that. You know how many earlier have made mistakes in Aqidah and Minhaj?
No.
And died upon those mistakes, but we still have Ahl Sunnah.
No.
Because in order to leave Ahl Sunnah, you can't just leave a part. You have to leave, and this is the important. This is another point. There's no difference meaning the gravity. Sorry, the gravity of takbir, tafsir, and tabdir.
No.
There's no difference in the gravity. They are ruling.
No.
If you say somebody's a kafir, you pass the ruling. If somebody's a fasiq, you pass the ruling. If you say somebody's a hater, you pass the ruling. You better get it right.
No.
You better get it right. So now you can.
Barakallahu feek. No.
Well, we're not like the Khawarij. The Khawarij say what? If you make a major sin, you leave Islam.
No.
Come on, that's either say no, you don't leave Islam, but you're not a Muslim or Kafir. What is not a Muslim or Kafir? You're not a Muslim or Kafir, but you're somewhere in between. You know, and these cult people, they do the same thing. You know, when they came to Daddy, they refuted this. They said an unclear Salafi. That statement is like the statement of the Mu'tazila. You know, the Mu'tazila said no, the major sin is not a Muslim or Kafir, but it's going to hell forever. You know, so we're going to say because they know they're not returning to the earth, they're mad about we're making them the end. So they're going to say, no, we're not going to say you're an Ahl Bid'ah, but you're not. What is there in Ahl Bid'ah and Ahl Sunnah?
Bait the moons.
No, هذا مهم. This is مهم.
Nah.
You know, so it's clear. So it's either, you know, so either you're either a Salafi that got it wrong, or a Mu'tazili that got it right.
Yeah.
Sometimes Salafis get it wrong, and sometimes the people end up getting it right.
Nah.
So you're one of the two. So when you make a mistake, if you're usul Salafi, then you're a Salafi that made a mistake. But you're usul, a Salafi, you're a Salafi that made a mistake.
No.
So likewise, the Mukhalif is usul Salafi, but he took a position. He took a position that this is deen. I'm not letting it go.
No.
You know, this is what I believe, and this is what I'm going to pay upon, and I'm not letting it. Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah died in prison. The Khalifa put him in prison because he gave a fatwa that went against the ijma' before imams. And his students say, Imam, why don't you know, it's not when you to let your position be known, or just say you denounce your position, what you just need to issue. Shaykh al-Islam said, I worship Allah, I see closest to Allah by the position that I took. And he didn't give it up. And he died upon that. Because he was all of ijtihad. Shaykh al-Islam did not have to say, you know, follow the ijma' before imams.
No.
He didn't have to do it. Because he was a mutlaq. He was a complete mujtahid. They could look into the text without referring to what any alim said for him. And this is rare for somebody to reach this level.
Barakallahu feek for clearing that up. Because the reason I asked you that question is because it seemed like with certain brothers, if they see you dealing with people who made a mistake, if he be from those who from Ahl Sunnah or considered to be from Ahl Sunnah, like you saying, is usul, but he had made mistakes, and they could have made major mistakes of position, then we don't agree with him in the position that he take, and we weren't against that position itself. But that don't mean that we have to now say, we can't deal with you because you associated with that person, or you are because you don't deem him to be Ahlul Sunnah, then you are Ahlul Sunnah. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what we're dealing with. Haq, we do need the wabit. That's why I asked you that question for.
Yeah. And I'm going to expound on it a little more after I explain the Mukhalif and the Muqtadi. So al-Mukhalif, he has usul al-Ahl Sunnah. He took a position, and that was incorrect. I'm not saying the Sheikh's position was incorrect, but I'm saying that he took a position of ijtihad that the four imams dictate, and like that. So al-Mukhalif have a position that opposes Ahl Sunnah, and he may die upon that. And he's not removed Ahl Sunnah because he still has the usul. And it's the same thing when I made the connection between takfir and tafsir and tafsir. That in order to leave, a thing has to leave from its asl. You can't leave it. You can't leave from a foundation from the branch.
Nice point.
You can't leave the foundation from a branch. You understand? So that's the same thing. And this is what the Qadish fell into and the Mu'tazila fell into. So we confirm that an individual is upon a minhaj with mistakes, if he has mistakes. And it doesn't have to be more than one mistake.
No.
But he has usul Ahl Sunnah, but sometimes he does this. And you're not going to find a person walking on the face of the earth is that he had those mistakes. He his link that he made when I witnessed in the Mamlaka. He had mistakes. He used to speak about the rulers.
No.
But Allah, he used to speak about, no, you're not going to ask one item. Ask any side of the ulama. The Sheikh Muqbil have, the issue of speaking against the rules and speaking. Get the book Tuhfat al-Mujib, his book of Fatawa. You're going to see that he's so harsh about rules. Is that the minhaj of Ahl Sunnah? That is not the minhaj of Ahl Sunnah. Is Sheikh Muqbil from the ulama of Ahl Sunnah living and dead? Yes, he's from the ulama of Ahl Sunnah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to hold him responsible for what he said and what he wrote. We speak about it, we say rahimahullah ta'ala. So that's the that's the thing with that. Sheikh al-Albani, people keep trying to lie. Did Sheikh al-Albani make a statement that agreed with the statement of the Murji'ah? Yes, he did. Rahimahullah ta'ala. Actually, Salih Fawzan, actually, Sheikh al-Albani make a statement that agreed with what the Murji'ah say about Iman. Yes, he did. Rahimahullah. And he died from the stuff of Ahl Sunnah. Yes, living and dead, we see Sheikh al-Albani scholars of Ahl Sunnah.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're not playing games. So now, this is the Mukhalif. This is the Mukhalif. So that is, not issue. They have a person, this is the Muqtadi. His usul were originally the usul of Ahl Sunnah. And then he, of his own accord, abandoned those usul and built other usul, he built other principles, and called to those principles. This person has now become an innovator. He's now, and the innovator on more than one type, you have an innovator that calls towards innovation and an innovator that doesn't call towards innovation. He can be an innovator within himself and never call the people to an innovator. Innovation is real and it's serious. The Prophet ﷺ warned about innovation in his life, and it never took place in his lifetime. This is how deep innovation and how dangerous it is. So a person who's usul is Ahl Sunnah, and then he begins leaving those usuls, like Yassin, leave those usul openly, and take on the usul of Ahl Bidah. Then you'll have to be him, then he attributed to Ahl Bidah. This is the reality. So now, the issue that you guys said about, association, this is a whole other issue. And everything that we're explaining, it needs really more explanation, a separate, the whole class dealing with the topic itself. But we're mixing. So now about association, does Islam teach guilty by association? Because that's what we're talking about now.
No.
Does Islam teach guilty by association? Yes. The principle of guilty by association exists in Islam. But the problem is, how do we practice guilty by association? How do we practice guilty by association? So guilty by association is by simply having a relationship with a Muslim that has sin or innovation. You know, you're not gonna tell me, I accepted Islam, and some people in my family accepted Islam also. Because I don't live in America, I had some years I don't have one anymore. Some years I had a Facebook page. My nieces and my cousins and all they were owning, some of them were naked women like that. So if we practice guilty by association, whether you associate with your life just blatantly like that, it means that because of the fiscal of my relatives, I'm a facet. That's not the principle of Islam. It's not a principle of Islam. But what happens is that if you associate with a person, that's a facet. That's a disbeliever. That's an innovator with your heart, supporting their actions, supporting them. But then at this point, you now are guilty by association. This is the if you associate with them, refuting that which they are upon, but advising them to leave which they are upon, accompany them in order and for this reason, then you are not guilty by association. Rather, you are implementing the ayah, وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ.
No.
You see, so this is the principle to prove that you can be guilty by association when you actually did something, when you actually did something wrong, when you supported it. And this is why, in our reputations, in sort of reputation of the Khawarij and of the people of Takfir, when they say, well, there's no Muslim country in the world because they have allegiance or they have relations with the whoever have relations with other Kufr together, because this is al-wala wal-bara. This is al-wala wal-bara. And then we come with what the hadith is in Bukhari of Ibn Abi Balta'a, that he actually told the Mushrikeen about the Prophet's plan to come to him. He informed the Mushrikeen what the Prophet was doing. And the woman was sent the letter to inform the Mushrikeen about the Prophet. This is betrayal. This is, in modern day terms, this is treason.
Yeah.
According to, government. So what happened? Umar was, sent, to check what was going on. And they found the woman who was taking the letter. They were suspicious about, his movements. So the woman had the letter. So Umar, some of the Sahabas that went to say, give up the letter. So she didn't give the letter. She said, give up the letter. She said, what letter? I don't have a letter. So Umar said, look, what? If you don't give up that letter, and this goes back to the point we were mentioning earlier about necessity. Umar said, if you don't give up the letter, we're going to strip you. We're going to take the letter. We're going to take that scarf. Okay, we're going to take your hijab. We're going to take the letter. You're hot, and you're on your person. So she gave him the letter. So when it was found out that Ibn Abi Balta'a that he did this, Umar was very upset. Umar is al-Faruq, the one who divides between truth and falsehood. So Umar was very upset, and he said to the Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, يعني أضرب عنق هذا المنافق. Let me cut the head of this hypocrite off. You have this belief against the messenger of Allah was a great issue. So the Prophet told Umar, no, we have to hear from him first. You see the importance of Iqamat al-Hujjah, establishing evidence. We got to hear from him first. So he said, the Prophet asked Ibn Abi Balta'a, he asked him, why did you do this? So he said, all of your companions, other than me, are from the Quraysh. You got people that's with family back to protect them. I don't have anybody. So I was just trying to make a move in the favor of the Quraysh so that they would not harm my family. And I didn't do it in love of Kufr, nor in hate of Islam. The Prophet said, he said, it's Muhammad, but he has told you the truth. He has told you. Now, this shows that we're not from the Haddadi, that if you fall into the action, then you're the doer. Meaning, if you fall into Kufr, you're a kafir. If you fall into Bid'ah, you're a Mubtadi'. If you fall into, you're a bastard. We don't believe that. We believe that we have to see why to do it. Oh, I did it because it's this and that. Then after that, if it's proven that you did it for the wrong reason, then the culture is established against you. Then after that, the ruling falls upon you. And the ruling don't fall upon the people to earn an explain. In Cuba, so what in Cuba? In Cuba, that established upon this individual, and that the condition also present, and the thing will prevent the person understanding what he's doing have to be removed. And this is why I'm very upset at our brother Shadid Muhammad, because I believe that now that he's become popular, that many information concerning that which he's doing wrong is reaching him, but he's going forward. As a matter of fact, he's very stubborn about what's going. He's intentionally against it. He's allowing scholars to be defamed on his Facebook pages. His information is reaching me. It is from his addresses, and I visit those addresses, and I see that he's allowing scholars to be defamed on his web pages and things like that. This is not possible. This is not possible, and this is dangerous, and this is from the signs of Ahlul Bidah, because one of the things, the first thing that Ibn Abbas, when he faced the Khawarij, the first thing that he said to the Khawarij when he faced them, he said, why is it, and this is what you want to notice to Ahlul Bidah, he said, why is it that I don't see any of the companions of the Messenger of Allah amongst you? When you see an individual that's calling to something and he doesn't have a scholar, he's not a scholar, and he doesn't have a scholar backing him or scholars backing him, then this is an issue. We're never going to, we will never take the status of our scholars. We will not allow anybody to take the status of our scholars. Even if our scholar made a mistake, then we defend them, and it's the same with our brothers. So, to take a position that we're going to get together, and I'm going to give you an example of your father is doing something, that doesn't like. You and your sisters together and start going into the family about, your father is verbally abusive. Is this proper? Is this acceptable? I'm asking you brothers the question, is this acceptable?
No.
Okay. The same thing. If to go out and say, Sheikh so-and-so got wrong, Sheikh so-and-so got that wrong. That's not proper. But we say, what? We talk to those who have the ability to advise the Sheikh, or we try to advise the Sheikh ourselves. Or we get the information to the Sheikh. The same thing with our brothers. To allow, just like, we don't want anybody to defame any of our brothers. I want Somali to be defamed. I don't want Abu Hassan Malik to be defamed. I don't want Sheikh Tahir to be defamed. I don't want Ahmed Munir to be defamed. I don't want Nazis to be defamed. I don't want Isa Abu Isa to do. I don't want to be defamed. Because kullu Muslim ala Muslim haram. The Muslim is separate. And وَلَا يُؤْمِنُ أَحَدُكُمْ حَتَّى يُحِبَّ لِأَخِيهِ مَا يُحِبُّ لِنَفْسِهِ. 2 hadith. If we practice the both of them, we can solve this problem. If we don't practice them, it's not going to end. I don't believe that Hassan Somali and Spub are the root. A new branch. Are they part of the problem? They are definitely part of the problem. Are they the problem? No. The root of the problem is people being in a position to teach the people religion, and they're not teaching them religion, they teach them personality. Stop teaching the people personality. Teach the people the text. Make the people read the Quran. Read the Quran. Read the Quran. Read the Quran. My mother told me, your mother accepted Islam, rahimahullah, in 2000. He died in 2010.
Rahimahullah.
Rahimahullah. But she said an important point. She said that if people read the Quran, they wouldn't be caught up in all this nonsense. My mother, because of the way, my mother, when I was trying to get her to accept Islam, and I did some of the masajid early on, one of the things that I accepted Islam in 94, my mother didn't become Muslim until 2008. One of the things that prevented her when she was taken to the masjid, the manners of the Muslims. She said, not only, my mother, I've been reading the Quran since before you were born. I started reading the Quran in 1974. You were born in 75. I was reading the Quran before you were born. And I don't see at the mosque, she was saying the mosque, I don't see at the mosque, I don't see what the Quran is saying down at the mosque. So I don't want to be a Muslim. She would say, I'm more of a Muslim than you are. This is before she took Shahada. You know, and it took me years to tell my mother that you can't connect the ills of the people talking the sunnah. You have to take shahada, you have to believe in these words and implement them to be Muslim, no matter how bad you believe the Muslims are. The Muslims are one thing and Islam is something else.
No.
You know, and this is the thing. You know, Sheikh Shafiq, you know, he made it, you know, has issues that I free myself from. But he made an important statement. He said in one of his classes that he's the son of Sheikh Muhammad al-Amin al-Shafiq, one of his sons. But, you know, he has some issues, so I want to make it clear because I know that people would love to say, I support him. So anyway, he made a point that others are starting to say, we stand as a shield that is blocking Islam. The people don't know what Islam is because of us. If we give them away, the people would love Islam, but we're here.
That's major. It's major. It's major.
Why don't people accept Islam? Because what did Ali radiallahu anhu say to the Khawarij? They came to complain to him. They said, when Umar and Abu Bakr were the Khalifa, you know, our life was like this, and Islam was like this and like that, but now that you're the Khalifa, look at our situation. What did Ali respond to them? He said, لأن أبو بكر وعمر كان خلفاء كمثلي إني خليفة على كمثلي أو أمير على كمثلي أو كما قال رضي الله عنه. He said because Abu Bakr and Umar, they were the leaders of people like me. I'm the leader of people like you. That's the problem. You're the problem. I'm the problem. Not that Umar was doing something that what I'm doing. You're not doing what I was doing when I was under that teaching.
No.
And this is the same.
No, Hassan.
So
Hassan. Barakallahu feek. Alhamdulillah, Maghrib is in upon us. And we want to thank you, man, for the two-part talk. Anytime we would like to invite you on to do some principles and stuff like that. Alhamdulillah for, you know, straightening, correcting some errors.
We benefited.
We benefited. We take the advice, you know, alhamdulillah, and we will continue advising our brothers, no matter who they may be. And, you know, we're taking the errors that they made publicly. This is something that we will do, inshallah ta'ala, and don't fear the blame of the blameless. Jazakallah khair.
We might be calling you Sheikh Hassan after tonight.
Sheikh Hassan